welcome to my poker tournament vlog, the pilot episode. So I've been on YouTube a lot lately and I've been watching a lot of poker vlogs, specifically cash game vlogs, and I noticed there weren't a lot of options for tournaments, especially local tournaments and cheaper tournaments. And I thought it might be a fun idea to put together a vlog for those that are new to poker and for those who want to strengthen their game in a non-expensive way. What I've decided to do is frequent some of the local clubs here in Medford, Oregon. What I'd like to do in this format is walk you through my poker hands and give you kind of my strategy and my thinking for each hand. I want to present that to you guys and give you feedback because I also am trying to build my poker game, and I have a feeling that a lot of people that watch this poker vlog will have more poker experience than I do. So not everyone who plays poker is a poker pro, and small local tournaments are a great way to start to strengthen your game for a couple of reasons. Number one, the buy-in is all you pay. So you can play a ton of hands and test different strategies, and you're never going to lose more money than what you've put in. Number two, you typically aren't playing against poker pros in small local tournaments. There's not that much money to be won, and those who are pros are looking for opportunities to make a lot of money. So by joining the local tournaments, rather than diving into the deep end, you're kind of wading into the shallow end to get your feet wet. And number three, it's not costly to make mistakes, which you will do. Trust me, I've made a ton of mistakes. In fact, the tournament I was at yesterday, I made a big mistake. And that's why I want to put together this vlog. I'm not only going to show you the hands that I win, but the hands that I lose. I want to help you guys see the mistakes that are made so that you avoid making those mistakes in the games that you play. So a little bit about me. Prior to this last year, I've lived in Oklahoma, and my passion out there was storm chasing. I've seen roughly 40 tornadoes and countless amazing storms that just blew my mind. It's been an awesome experience, but I'm back here in Oregon, and with there being no storms to chase, poker's kind of become a new passion for me. I also spent 2015 hiking the Pacific Crest Trail, and I did a documentary and learned a lot about video editing during that time, and that documentary is on my YouTube channel if you'd like to check that out. The link's below. So I've been playing serious poker for about a year and a half. I've done a few bigger tournaments, one in Oklahoma where it was a $180 buy-in, but there was a $10,000 guarantee. I final tabled that. It was a 2-day tournament, and I ended up getting 7th place for roughly $1,500, so that was my first big win. And then another at the Aria in Las Vegas, I think that was a $125 buy-in, just a Saturday tournament, but there were so many people that when I final tabled that event, I think the final 8 of us all decided to chop for about $1,500. So I have 2 big wins under my belt. I also won a local championship game and won a bracelet. So today is Tuesday, January 17th, and tonight there is a small tournament. It's a $25 buy-in with a $5 add-on and a option for a $25 rebuy. You get roughly 40,000 in chips, so it's a nice deep stack tournament, which are my favorite. And it starts at 6 o'clock, and it is 5:30, so let's head out. So as you can see, we've started play. The blinds are pretty low. They're at 1-2. One thing you're going to see me do a lot of in this tournament is folding. That's one of the keys to winning tournaments, is to be willing to be patient and fold a lot of hands. In this first hand, I am in the small blind. I have Queen 9 offsuit. The flop comes out Queen 2-3. So I decide to go ahead and bet with top pair. The dealer position thinks for a minute and then he folds. So we win our first hand of the tournament. So as I said previously, you're going to see me folding a lot of hands. Right here I have 7-4 off, easy to fold. There's quite a few more hands that I fold here. One great thing about these local tournaments is a lot of times people will limp in, so when you are in the big blind, you can just go ahead and check and see your hand for free, which I did in this case. I didn't hit anything on the flop, and somebody in middle position bet, so it was an easy fold here.
Still the proper bribe. Yeah. But I was overruled.
So in this hand, I am in the small blind and I see 7-9 of spades. It is limped over to me, so I just go ahead and limp call. And the flop comes out 6-8-2 rainbow. So I have an open-ended straight draw. I decide to check, checks around to late position, who puts in a bet of 400, which is about half pot, so I just go ahead and call. Everybody else folds, so we're now heads up. The turn comes 5 of hearts, which puts a flush draw out there, but we did hit our straight. I decide to slow play it, and I go ahead and check, and the original aggressor puts out a bet of 1,000 into a pot of 1,600, and I just elect to call. The river turns a king of hearts, so the backdoor flush just got there. I elect to check, and sure enough he bets 3,000. And so I decide to just call, just in case he has the flush. I show my straight, and sure enough we win the hand. At this point in the tournament, we have a new aggressive player that has joined a little bit late, and he's in the big blind. I'm in middle position, and a couple of guys before me limp in. I look down at ace-3 of spades, which is a good hand, but I decide not to raise it since there's a few limpers before me, just in case I get re-raised. So I go ahead and flat as well, and the big blind goes ahead and checks behind. The flop comes out ace of diamonds, 10 of spades, 5 of spades. So we get top pair and the nut flush draw. It checks around to me, and I decide to bet about half pot. The late position folds, and the aggressive player in the big blind re-raises. I decide to just call, just to see what comes out, rather than raising again. The turn comes 3 of hearts, which gives me 2 pair. I decide to go ahead and check to the aggressive player, and he makes a bet of about 3/4 of the pot. I think for a minute and decide to just call him. The river is a blank, and the big blind snap shoves. He just pushes it all out there. It's probably about 4 times what's out there right now in the pot. So it's a really large bet. The only thing he could have that's beating me is a bigger 2 pair or a set. He makes an interesting statement.
Guys, you absolutely crushed the whole way. No, absolutely not.
Whole way?
The entire way.
That just feels really fishy to me. So I go ahead and make the call. I turn over my 2 pair, and sure enough, we win the hand and basically double up. So we are way ahead in the tournament.
I think what you have there, 'cause you didn't raise 3.
After a lot more folding and a few aggressive plays, sure enough, we win the tournament for the Pilot Vlog.